All right, I just want to welcome everybody here today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Guess what? It's $1.4 trillion for the 2020 budget, $738 billion for DOD, $662 billion for non-DOD. And guess what? We want some of that stuff. But if you want it, it's all going to get spent within the next 205 days. We're by the end of this month, we're going to be in Q3 of fiscal year. And if you're not in front of key decision makers now, you're going to fall behind the competition again because it takes a while to get there. I'm Dave Lowe. I'm the CEO of ISI Federal, and we're all about making federal contracting manageable, profitable, and fun. Because why? Because profit is fun. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not saying greed is good. I'm saying profit is fun. How about that? A little bit about us. We've been helping folks since 2009, and since then, we've booked over $440 million direct and indirect federal sales. We are very, very good at market intelligence. 64 million federal contracts, 1.2 million federal contacts, 3.1 million vendor contacts, and 132,000 program managers and 70,000 active buyers. That is where the money gets made, folks. And we also provide professional business development support and representation here, and it's cheaper than doing it yourself, I promise you. We also run GovBrief, where you are the expert. We research the initiatives, we interview you, and we drive buyers to you. We have one now on water, one coming up tomorrow. If you go to govbrief.us, you can see it, and we're driving buyers that are interested in water conservation. I cannot imagine a whole lot of things that are more specific than water conservation and water monitoring. And we still have 25 decision makers coming to the briefing. And our briefings are going to get more and more popular because of what you said, Greg. Everything else is going to get canceled. And Rafael Marrero, I don't know if Rafael is here yet. Rafa, are you here? Rafael Marrero, I hope, is coming. Let me text him and see if he's hopping on. I hope he's hopping on because I have a whole segment that's ready for him. Rafael Marrero is the head of Rafael Marrero and Company. They help get certifications. That includes your 8A, your hub zone, service disabled, any of the Department of Transportation. Very important nowadays. What's happening with this coronavirus is they're looking for local folks in different areas to be ready. Reach out to Rafael Marrero. We just did a briefing last week on this particular subject, which you will get follow-ups for as well on that. But you definitely want to reach out to Rafael if you're interested in that. All right, somebody knocked over his mailbox post, so he's at Home Depot right now because obviously he spaced about this. But anyway, that's him in front of Telemundo from last month. He was just in front of that. He actually did the broadcast last time from Telemundo because he was there, because he's a famous author. JB Zell is here in the house talking about GSA schedules. We'll talk a little bit about that, why you need one, and all that stuff. But tell us about GSA Logic and how you got started and what you do.
GSA Logic got started to fill a need for companies to be able to help companies to get their GSA schedule. And then once they've got their GSA schedule, and it goes through its 20-year life cycle, is to maintain and keep that thing current and correct. So it's a maintenance tool and it's an acquisition tool that we serve as to the public to help people get it done, and also get it done in a very cost-affordable way, and also guarantee the results. If you want a GSA schedule, you sign up with us, you're going to get one. There's no doubt about it. That's right. You got a 100% track record, been working with Jamie for years, and I'm really glad you're feeling better because, man, you've been slammed by that pre-coronavirus, apparently. I don't know, maybe you're on the cutting edge. Well, maybe it was the Michelob virus. I don't know. Maybe it was the Michelob. Fantastic. Greg Clark's in the house with DKA. What's going on, Greg?
No viruses here.
No viruses there in Southern Florida. That's a beautiful thing. You guys help with proposal writing. We're going to talk about that as well in a little bit. So we appreciate you guys being here. And tell us about why you guys got started.
We three of us worked together in a big company and decided to go out on our own 25 years ago. And three of us formed the company then. There's 6 of us now. And we have helped our clients win a little more than 350 federal government contracts with a combined value up over $1.7 billion now. And so anybody that's looking that has products or services they sell to the government, we can help increase your chances of growing your sales.
That's fact. And you guys actually like beta.sam.gov, God forbid. Not really.
Not really. Not really. No.
But that's okay, because what you do though is you do things to help people get to the key decision makers. And we help to get the key decision makers. You guys help perform the response, which is very important.
Proposal and responses solicitation.
That's exactly.
Let me ask you something real quick. Something that popped up that I was surprised by. You're familiar with the Burning Man Festival, right? Out in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
The Bureau of Land Management is in charge of logistics for that. That's not a privately funded thing. I'm just reading through the package now. There's a 5-year contract out to provide all the logistics support services, and I'm talking about temporary buildings, a 2,500-foot fence all the way around it. I'm talking about power, water, sewage, food, and the Bureau of Land Management has this solicitation out to support Burning Man. So,
wow,
me and a client are bidding on it.
Good. Go. That's great, man. Fantastic. Yeah, keep me posted on that, and let me know if there's anything else we could do for you. That's great. Love to hear those things. A little bit about this webinar. It's always free. It's every second Tuesday. We had to redo the whole thing we used to have 900 people registered, and I was like, heck with this, because some people aren't showing up. So because of GoToWebinar messed it up. We wound up having to do the new thing. So welcome everybody. We have new people on board, which is fantastic. We're glad you're here. We get the dialogue with federal experts and get real about how things work, winning strategies, tactics, and we show off a little bit. And if you don't like that, just remember how much you paid, which is free. So we have a quick poll, and a quick poll today. We're going to start with what is your status with your GSA contract? You had a GSA contract but lost it. I want a GSA contract, or I'd like to determine if I need a GSA contract. And we'll have 2 questions about that today. So let us know where you are. Oh, a lot of folks have GSA contracts. We are very glad that you are here. And the next slide is going to be very important for some of you people that are new. 60% so far. All right. So let's go. Give me another 5, 4, 3. I promise it's painless. 2, 1, 0. You can do it. Last minute. All right. Oh, somebody snuck in. And I'm going to share that poll. This is what we got. We got 58% that have it, 25% that want it, Jamie. And Jamie, you want to determine, you got 17%. We got like half the people that need it, right? So fantastic. Well, you guys will get followed up with, I promise, because that's what my people do. And with that, I want to point all the GSA contract holders to QuickFuse, QUIKFUSC.com. It monitors GSA e-buy. If you haven't tried it, try it. Why? Because it's free for 30 days. You can try it for 30 days for now. That will change come not too distant future where we shift that back as things start to get busy. Test drive it for 30 days. And I said, tell you this, if you stay for a year, you will win 5 times what you spend on QuickFuse, or we'll refund your money. And guess what, Jamie? Never had to refund any money. See that? Quick disclaimer, this event is not affiliated or endorsed by any agency. It's provided to you, the audience, for informational purposes only. And any participation in this briefing by government personnel, which we do have folks coming in from time to time, is not a commitment to buy from anybody or endorsement to buy from anybody. So we got that out of the way so they can communicate with us. That actually came from the government, by the way. We did that as part of our briefings. Look, some quick things. If you like the way Jamie looks today, or you want to make him disappear altogether, probably. Anyway, you can make us bigger by dragging this little thing and make us larger. And you can open that panel on the side and you can chat questions. You can raise your hand and let us know you would like to communicate with us. We already have some questions in there, so we know some people know how this thing works. But if you called in on the phone, make sure you enter your PIN. I don't know what it is. It's not 59, could be 59, but whatever that PIN number says, do boop, 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 and hit that so that we can unmute you. And we do have handouts that are associated with this session. We did fix that from last time. 90-second challenge is in there. We're going to be talking about doing that today. We're going to be doing the 90-second challenge. Winnable opportunity matrix, the federal capabilities going for gold ebook is already also in there. So why in the world did you guys decide to come to this webinar today? Is because you're trying to avoid the coronavirus, or is it happen to be because you're new to the federal space, or you have federal business and you want to grow, or you can pick as many as you want. I don't know, maybe this is a new one. I need help finding buyers for my products or services. I need help marketing my company to the federal market, or some nut sent me an email. Make sure somebody at least selects that last one. Somebody's got to say that. Somebody's got to say it. Somebody's got to be truthful. I'm moving my stuff around because this new system I set up for myself is getting a little crazy. And I do want to answer a question. Let's answer this question while this poll is going. Let's see if it is. How do I speak also? Rob Connolly, I will definitely get you the ability to speak. Let me see if you're unmuted, Rob. Hold on one second. Rob, you there? Rob Connolly?
Got me now.
Hey, so who are you with, Rob?
BC Compliance Group.
BC, what's that do?
We're a management consulting firm that focuses on expense recovery. Analyze contracts and leases, find where companies get overbilled.
Wow, very cool. I like it. So that love to check. Nobody selected some nut selected an email. We'll call you out in a minute. Just make sure you raise your hand again if you wanna talk. But I want to make sure we keep things together here. Let's see. I'm gonna put these questions back in the side. Got that, and I want to hide this. But boom, we're good to go. We're back on track with that bad boy. So I think we're all here because we want to win federal contracts, right, Jamie Zell?
That's exactly right.
And you just get a GSA and it just goes right into money, right? Isn't that how it was?
Well, it just falls from the sky. You get out there with a rake and a big bag and just start raking all the money up.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And that's why everybody's here, because it's so easy, right? It actually kind of looks like this, and they actually tell us what to do. Just go to beta.sam.gov and everything works out really well, right? Hey, how about that? If you haven't been sold a bill of goods lately, just check this out. Check out beta.sam.gov. And if you would like to tell Judith how great a job it is, there she is. She's the one that created it. There's her phone number and her email address. And you're welcome to let her know how great it is. We put out some suggestions that they should change back in November, including the fact that we were supposed to get notifications, and that hasn't happened yet. And we will be taking this 90-second challenge in a little bit to show you a couple of things about beta.sam.gov that you probably don't know. So before we start selling, we better look the part. And Rafael's not here, but I'm going to talk for Rafael Marrero. Rafael Marrero helps folks with being procurement ready, contract ready, whatever you want to call it. He gets you looking and smelling good so that when you're out in front of everybody, you actually look like you know the part. And you can tell that he knows this because, well, he's at Home Depot right now buying a mailbox post apparently, but he always looks good, especially in those sexy blue glasses. So with that, we have a case study here, which he helped to rebrand a firm. Rebrand, why? Because you don't just hop into the federal space and just decide that, hey, because I'm here and I've done a lot of commercial work, we should be able to do the work. No, you rebrand the firm, website, business cards, capability statement, the banners, the whole thing. He did the whole thing. And guess what? He developed and cultured relationships with matchmaking and agencies. That's how it works. And won contracts for the Federal Reserve Board, NASA, U.S. Navy, and others. And won his first major multi-year federal contract in less than a year in January 2019. Fantastic. So that's what it looks like. And he also wrote the book. If you read Spanish, you can only do this if you read Spanish because he did it for the Spanish community. He and I are writing a book now that's going to be a combination of this book as well as the Going for Gold and some new information since Going for Gold is 10 years old. Man, crazy. So, but one of the things that you need to do is brand it differently. It's very, very important. The government doesn't operate the same way. Business cards need to look a little bit different. You need to have professional email accounts. You can't do, smoking hot Joe at hotmail.com anymore. You can't do that. Can't have that. So making sure that, and I know, Jamie, you just got rid of that because You had your super hot Jamie at hotmail.com. So there you go. Well, that's probably too much information, but we'll talk about the capability statement 6 C's, what you should be doing there. I've done enough of these with Raphael to know what he's going to say. So you should have a government tab on your website. I was just talking with a multi-billion-dollar corporation just before this call, before this webinar. And one of the things I said is, look, they have a smoking website. Imagine that, multi-billion-dollar corporation. Of course, they have a great website, but they don't have a government tab because they don't do a lot. They do some work with the government, with FEMA, but they don't do a lot. Raphael also helps with video capability statements. Very effective, very short videos, and building a capability briefing template that is absolutely resonating. It gives you all your capabilities in a slide deck. A lot of folks need this. They don't even realize it, but they need it because they just don't look the part. And that's one of the reasons that they're failing. And then focused emails to buyers. Guess what? You got to go out after them. We'll talk about that in a minute. Here's an example of the capability statement. Now, from a standard looking kind of, let's say, commercial marketing, right? This has a lot of stuff. And most of the commercial marketing people would say that's insane to do that, right? However, it's really, really important to do this. It has the 6 C's, which is your capabilities narrative, has all your NAICS codes and PSC codes. If you don't know what they are, go to SAM. You'll see the places where they're there. It has your customers. It has the contracts that you've worked on, specifically if you worked on the federal government, and sub to prime contracts, especially if they're federal government. Your core competencies. What are the things that you're known for? What do you do better than anybody else? And your contact info. You'd be amazed at how many capability statements I've seen in the past that don't have your contact information on it. Personal contact information. So do that, then it'll help you get there. You can read more about this in Spanish, and you look at La Salsa Secreta del Tío Sam, and I know I butchered it, so I apologize. I am a gringo, and I don't have any other explanation. That's it. So do you guys think that you're ready for contracting? Hey, I need Raphael to look my best. I have a good capabilities, but I need Raphael to review, or my SAM is good and I have a rocking capabilities. Let's go. Let me know where you guys are. So we can get you the follow-up that you need. And I tell you, when Raphael looks at, and what I love about Raphael is he does the background stuff, looks at how he knows exactly what the government's looking for, used to be in procurement himself. And he would say that himself. So there you go. We'll give another 5, 4, 3, I promise, 2, 1. It's not painless. 1, 0, and boom. All right, so here we go. Some folks need Raphael's help. That's good news. Okay, about half people need that too. Awesome. Thank you for responding. We'll make sure we get that. Any questions that you have about being procurement ready? I know I didn't do it justice as good as Raphael, but since he's at Home Depot, I can't help that. So if there's any questions, you can let us know, and we'll do that. What is the one thing, Greg? What is the one thing the government says to do? What do they say?
Pay attention to monitorsam.gov.
Yeah, that's right. beta.sam.gov. So we're gonna go ahead and take the 90-second challenge. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab. We'll see if I can do this with the 90-second challenge handout, and I can, as a matter of fact. All right. So open this up, and I just clicked this from what's in the download, so I know that it works. In the handouts, you can grab this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click here, which is going to take us to beta.sam.gov and search for all the opportunities. You gotta love this, man. You just gotta love it, right? So I want everybody to get a calculator. Ready? You got 124,523. Let me write this down because I don't have my count. 124,523. That's how many results. Everybody see that? Everybody agree? So by the way, we did this from October the 1st, 2018 to September 30th, 2019. That is the segment for fiscal year 2019. Am I right, Greg?
You are.
I am correct. So now we're going to go back to our handout and we're going to click this button and we're going to see how many contracts were awarded in fiscal year 2019. Oh, and it's 111,121,752. What? So if you do this, if you take this and go back to the instructions and you say 120, it's 124,523. Somehow that got changed. I have no idea how that gets changed. This I know gets changed because there's more contracts that get submitted and changes that come in later on, especially DOD. But we take a look at that, and just out of curiosity, how many hit beta.sam.gov? Only, let's say 1.1%. So let's ask the question, let's just round it up. Just round it up to 2% even. Double it. 98% never hit beta.sam.gov. How can that be? How can that possibly be? Well, guess what? 74% of all contracts have less than 5 respondents. That's across the board. Some of the industries, it's over 80%. So what do we know about that? Obviously, something is different than what's happening. Guess what else? 38% only have 1 response. Only 1 response. Was I talking to you, Greg, that was talking about a single response, or was somebody else that had a single response? It would have been today. Did you say something about that today?
Not today.
Okay. It was somebody else today that I was talking and said they had 1 response and they're tracking this new, I think I know who it is now. It's that has one single response and they're going after it now. So how important is it to get in front of the decision makers before the requirement is released? Is it critical, very, or somewhat? You know what you think. Everybody ought to be, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Critical, very, somewhat, or not important? Okay. Take a look. We do have a question that I'll get to. Do any of these handouts have a sample of the flyer? If you're talking about the capabilities, no, there is no sample of that. But Keel, we will get you with Raphael and he will get you one. The one with the codes and the contract. There you go. Very good. Gotcha. Awesome. And we'll get, Raphael will get you that. All right, another 3, 2, 1, and close. You're out. You're done if you did not do it. 80% critically important, very important, somewhat important. All right. I like it. So we haven't gotten completely the message over. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me talk about the 5 or the people that are choosing between 5 or fewer companies. Not the same 5 companies. Because all these buyers are buying from multiple companies, but they're choosing within 5 most of the time. What do we know about these 5 companies? We know, first of all, they are buying what you sell because they're buying from your competition. They're buying what you sell. And they're not calling or emailing you because they think that they are set with the people they already have on their short list of 5 or fewer. And what there's a compliance. Hold on a second. Who was earlier that said they wanted to be unmuted? I cannot remember. Is it Bob? Rob Connolly. Rob, you there?
I'm right here.
So compliance for federal contracts. How many? Do you know about federal contract compliance as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
How many small businesses? Here's a hint. Do they need to go out to in order to meet the FAR?
I would say 3 based on your fingers.
Good answer, my man. And how many women owned? Do you know?
2. Majority.
Better known?
So 2.
Better known? 2.
2.
2.
Yep.
How about HubZone? 2.
How about what?
HubZone.
2.
2. And 8A?
One.
One. They can do it sole source. There you go. Very good, Rob.
You should have gone to high school with me.
Thanks, man. All right. I appreciate it. So here's the thing. They're going to think that they're set until you do something about that, until you get and inject yourself into that. And they're only going to think anything different if they come to the decision, that you deserve to be one of the 5. If you don't display that you look good, smell good, deserve to be in there, you're not going to be there. And not only that, you better know who they are, because if you don't know who they are, they're never going to know that you deserve to be one of the 5 because you can't pitch them on it. So the number one objective that we have, is 1, be one of the 5. We just want to be one of the 5. That doesn't mean we have to win every time. Just by the numbers, ladies and gentlemen, just by the numbers. If you're one of 5, 20% of the time, you should be close to winning, if not winning. Make sense? So the number one issue that we have in order to reach our objective is find the buyers. Find out who it is that's buying in your space. And then the second thing is be proactive to go get them, because the government thinks that you being on SAM and registering in SAM is marketing. They actually say it in the VA's procurement readiness. Promote yourself on SAM. There's no place to be able to say, send my SAM record to somebody. You can point them to your SAM record. They really want to know who you are. People still buy from people they like. I don't care what they say. And here's the thing. We interrupt this program to promote ISI Federal, that we know who these buyers are from the 64 million federal contracts, 1.2 million federal contacts. And oh, by the way, we know 132,000 program managers and 70,000 active buyers. Now we go back to our regularly scheduled program, which is, what is one federal relationship worth to you? Now, this is based on, look at your customer base for your company and come up with whether it's a small, they just buy things small and they buy multiple times or they buy once. If it's a single hit, what's that worth? If they're buying multiple times, what is the total worth? And it's between 5 to 10, 10 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 500, or over 500,000. So there you go. We're going to let you go. We have several folks that's over 500,000. A lot of people are in the right sweet spot. I like it. I like it. I like it. Keep going. Keep going. You can do it. I promise. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and one more, maybe. One more. Nope. Okay. So here's where people stand. And Greg, you can help with this, because most of the stuff that's hitting everything that hits FBO is over 25,000, right?
Right.
And most of the stuff that's hitting FBO is a lot more than that, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of reason to be paying attention to what's happening and what your contract sweet spot is. Most importantly, what one relationship is worth. All right, we got any questions? We do have a couple questions. Let's see. Let's pop this open here. Many are total small business set-asides. Many are total small business set-asides. And many of the ones that you never see are small business as well. So there you go. As a hotel, what documentation do they require for me to prove I am a small business? Your NAICS code. When you register on SAM, you register with a NAICS code, and that NAICS code is what determines what your small business is. Right, Greg?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So that's what determines it, and we can talk about that later if you need to. You can take that offline. Raphael is expert in that. So Jamie Zell, one of the things that they recommend for us to do is to get a GSA contract, and we agree, because GSA contracts are a vehicle, a way, your ticket to the dance, or as Raphael would say, your gym membership. So you tell me about a gym membership, Everybody knows what a gym membership is. Everybody has signed up. I can't believe if we don't have everybody on this call that has sometime in their life signed up for a gym membership in January, and they were in perfect shape by February. That's the way it always works, all right, guys? Because you get the gym membership, you go a couple times, you're gung-ho, and all of a sudden you realize it's freaking work. There's freaking work. But let's talk about your GSA contract. The reason why Jamie is here, they have 100% track record in developing and maintaining, very important. So tell us about GSA contracts. What are they, Jamie?
Well, GSA contracts is a purchasing vehicle that you go out and acquire that proves that you have good past performance, good products, quality service. It's a proving ground, and that this ticket to the gym not only gets you in the door, but it shows any federal buyer, whether they buy on GSA or not, that your company is capable and ready to do business with the federal government. When federal buyers buy off GSA, it does allow them to do some things that are unique, and one of those things is they can go straight to purchase without even having to go out to bid. If they've got to satisfy something and they're ready to go and they like the way you look and sound and you've got GSA, they buy off GSA, they go straight to purchase, and they have met the FAR requirement for fair and competitive competition.
There you go.
So it's a power tool that you use, and in a non-environment where GSA is not even in the picture, we always recommend put it on your literature, your business card, your website. Most of the people that have it, if you don't, I know there's a lot of people out there with GSA schedules, but if you don't have it on the homepage of your website or the government section, put it on there, because it's something you want to fly as a badge of honor to show any federal buyer and even non-federal buyers that you've got your GSA schedule and have been through that process to make that qualification happen.
Yep. And so what do they need one in order to sell to the government?
You don't have to have one, but I will tell you that any of the GSA-based opportunities are not available to non-GSA schedule holders.
That's fact.
So you're automatically out, and there's a large percentage of federal purchasing that happens directly through GSA. Sure, it happens through other agencies. You don't have to have one. There are workarounds for that, but no more than they cost. Treat it as a business investment that lasts for 20 years, and that is something you buy once, you keep it intact, you use it, and you keep using it as a tool through its 20-year life. Because the other thing too is when you don't have one, sure enough, it always comes up. We see this happen all the time.
It does come up.
They just found something. It's going to happen on GSA. How fast can you do this? So we all jump in a time machine and go backwards 6 months and get us a GSA schedule. The thing to do is to come to the table prepared. Come with your GSA schedule, be ready to go, and have that as an available option to any federal buyer that says, by the way, do you sell through the GSA portal? You're absolutely is your answer. So you come to the table ready to go.
And so what are the criteria for getting one?
Pretty simple, really. You've been in business 2 years from your date of incorporation. That's from when your company first started. That you've demonstrated substantial sales for the services or products that you want to put on the schedule. And there's so many categories, it's hard to miss, but you have to make sure that your products and or services are listed on GSA. And about the only thing that we see that is not is ammunition. Other than that, if you're selling it, if you're offering it as a service, it's going to be on GSA, especially with the new acclimated GSA rework SIN list. So you've got that to work with. And then other than that, simple basic business. you're using a certified accounting system that's like QuickBooks or the equivalent, or you're using an accountant or both. The basics like that, you're ready to go. If you have any questions, don't have a GSA schedule, or if you happen to have had one and lost it, give me a call and I can talk you through, and we'll see where you're at and make sure that you're good to go as far as moving back into your GSA schedule. And the other thing too is it's tax deductible. So you have the acquisition cost to get your schedule this year, but for the next 19 years, you just, it's a payback, and use it as a tool. Absolutely use it as a tool.
And so the next step is making money with that. One thing is really important is that it doesn't make money fall from the sky. It is a ticket to the dance or your gym membership. You got to go get on those machines. You got to get in front of people. You got to get in front of people. But without it, I'll tell you, it makes it much more difficult, because if you don't have it, it immediately is saying, I don't really know if you really belong here. So it gives you the ability to create that dialogue, and it takes away one of the big objections. When you talk to somebody, well, you got a GSA contract? Nope. Oh, well, come back to me when you do. Now, and sometimes they don't even use the contract, but they use the numbers that the contract has. And we see this on a regular basis, because there are buyers that really don't like GSA. There's a lot of folks actually don't like GSA, but they'll look at it and say, okay, well, if you're selling it to GSA for $25, we'll accept that because GSA already vetted you. That's one of the things you said. Very important. Love it, Jamie. You always do great work, and I'm really glad you're feeling better. All right. So do you need GSA help? I know there were folks here. Ooh, I need GSA help. Let's see if this is right. I think we asked this kind of question earlier. So if it's duplicated, you'll get double up. All right. And let us know if you need help. That's the biggest thing. Because
absolutely happy to help. I know we got there's a lot of people out there who answered earlier, I think, that have GSA schedules. Have a look at your schedule. Go out there and see how it looks in GSA Advantage. If you're showing pricing from 4 years ago, if you're showing stuff that it isn't current or correct, get your schedule correct. That'll just help you shine when you get back in front of federal buyers, and it's time to look at your GSA schedule, because ultimately they're going to want to do that.
Yep, they are going to want to do that. So here's what it looks like, same as it was last time, 50%. So okay. So we did. So you will make sure we do that. Now, Greg Clark, once you're in this game, even if you have a GSA contract, even if you have great pricing, even all those things come up, you still got to do proposals, even if you know people. As pain in a butt as that is, let's talk about proposal writing, and what are the pieces of proposal writing that you guys provide? All because you can take it from like the word go. They say, hey, this is landed on beta.sam.gov. What do you think? And you say,
well, let's look at the submittal requirements, the performance requirements, and the evaluation criteria.
So you do that because?
Well, you need to determine what you have the experience and capabilities to win and successfully perform. So, going back from, we're still working from our first client in '95, and in addition to people that call me this morning saying I'm interested in doing and expanding into the government, we start talking about their experience and capabilities, and then we agree, well, let's go out there and see what we can find, and we're going to start sharing opportunities back and forth and evaluating them and seeing based upon the solicitation itself, in addition to whatever we can find out about a history of that contract. Is it a 5-year contract, and the same company's won the last 4 of these 5-year contracts, and they're probably going to win a 5th one again? And if so, let's be smart about where we put our resources and look for something that's a better fit. All things considered.
Yep. And just because it's out there doesn't mean it's winnable, right?
It might be out there, but you may have been working the marketing end with the company, and it's just out there as a dog and pony show, but you got it wired for somebody.
Now, I'm not. I cannot neither confirm nor deny whether that actually happened. So there. So yeah. That's what I love about what you guys do. First of all, I hate the paperwork. I don't want to do it. That's why I love Jamie, because he does paperwork. I don't do it. I don't want to do it. Now, I do like to get involved in the pricing. I do like to get involved in the overall analysis, because we can help say, all right, let's take a look at what makes sense. But at the end of the day, you do need a good technical proposal in order to win. And you can lose on a proposal. Because guess what happens if you don't talk to the contracting officer who puts something out? I haven't told the story in a while, so if you've been here before, here's a story. I worked with an agency for 3.5 months. Baked it. They copied and pasted everything that I had into the proposal. Would you call that baked, Greg?
Would I call that baked?
Baked, as in crafted for me. If they copied and pasted my stuff.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Baked is a new one for me, though.
What's that? Baked?
Baked is a new one for me.
Yeah, it was half baked and fully baked. Depending if you're from Denver and Colorado, it's a totally different meaning.
Absolutely.
But besides, so if we're in there and we have crafted, got our fingerprints on it, and the contracting officer changed just two things. One, they put it out as lowest price technically acceptable, and the other is they changed the requirement for meeting the deliverable from 98% to 95% of what the measurement was for satisfaction surveys or whatever it was at the time, something like a satisfaction survey or completion of effectiveness. And I was like, I don't care. I was so confident that we had this one, and it went out to bid, and I didn't ask two questions. One, how are you going to verify the certifications? The reason why I knew the certifications were going to protect us is because we were the only firm that had the required 3 certifications. However, the company that bid said they had them too, but I didn't ask how they were going to validate those. Number one mistake. Number two, if I'd asked them to say, hey, this is our lowest price technically acceptable, how are you going to ensure that they're technically acceptable without a value proposition? Shouldn't this be a value contract? And we lost 6.2 million. 6.2 million in 3.5 months worth of work. Now,
ouch.
Yes, ouch. But I want everybody to benefit from that, to know you need to cover everybody you can, and don't assume anything. And if you have the opportunity to ask a question that pushes away your competitors in that requirement, because what happens, what does it say in the FAR if you submit a question and they respond to that question? It becomes what?
It's part of the contract.
It's part of the contract. It's part of the response. And that means that if they'd answered the question and they'd have lied, we'd have had grounds for removing them. But because we didn't ask the question, because I didn't ask the question, I lost $6.2 million contract for a client.
But you're totally over it.
Yeah, I'm totally over it. Can't you tell? I have no bitterness at all. None at all. Totally over it. So that's the story. The reason why we do this is to help you get to where you want to go and make sure that your proposals are good and proper and you do the right thing. Do you need proposal help? Yes or no? That's a very easy question. And the answer is, if you say yes, you will be talking with Greg very shortly. So this is our as after everybody's already voted, this is our right to harass. I'm only kidding. We just want to help you get there. So we give another 5, 4, 3, 2, and I know we're almost at 50%. There we go, 53%. Anybody else? Oh, 59%. We're going. Any more? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, there you go. So 60% need help, Greg.
I'm here.
There you go. You will be talking with them. All right, guys, we are all here because we want to help you win federal contracts. And we have a couple of questions that I will answer now because I didn't put the questions part in there. But Ted is asking, will the full recorded presentation be available after the webinar? Yes, we'll have it packaged up. Adam McDermott, who is still here, I know he is, will help us compile that and make it look prettier than it looks right now. And we'll make it look prettier and send it back out with a link that you can watch it over and over. So you can do that. How much does it cost to get a GSA contract? Jamie Zell from Lisa.
$44.95 flat rate fee.
$44.95 flat rate fee. There you go. Let me see. Is there another one there? It looks like there's another. I can't get to it. All right. So if there's any more questions, please let me know. Again, we are here because we want to help you win federal contracts. That is why we're here. We have a preliminary market assessment. That is the fundamentals for market essentials. It's not the complete market essentials. It's saying, hey, does it make sense for me to play? And what does it look like? It's your federal market by NAICS, PSC, GSA SINs. We look at your competitors. We do the top competitors breakdowns with their patterns. And we do a breakdown of agency spending and the primes patterns. The reason why we do this is to say, where's the money? Show me the money. That sounds familiar. Probably can't use that term without violating a copyright, but we want to show you where the money is. And then we make a determination, what are the next steps? It's a preliminary market assessment. It is the number one reason we get started. We started doing this for $500 because we want to make sure you understand kind of how we think, start to talk about how we can identify those buyers, how many buyers are there, how many buyers do you want to pursue? Because once you take a look at it, he's like, man, I may be able to concentrate on 250 people, but I can't handle the 18,000 that are buying IT. Even if you prioritize them, my heads explode, right? So there you go. We want to help you do that. So for $500, we can do that. We can help and find and reach decision makers and program managers, both buyers and program managers with GovBrief. Just like this, we push it out to the marketplace and we get dozens of meetings as a result of that, because we have 1.2 million federal contacts in the federal space. So we use this to shake the tree. We're right smack in the middle of multiple briefings right now. We're pushing the information out there and we're gaining information. And guess what happens if they say they can't come to the briefing? We schedule a meeting. If it's in your wheelhouse, you can't come to the briefing, okay, no problem. We'll schedule the meeting. And that can be a face-to-face meeting, or it can be a phone meeting to start. But we do attendee follow-up, register and follow-up, and anybody that points and clicks in that thing. And let me tell you something. It is really difficult to follow up with 19,000 people that click. Just saying. That's what the last one was. Over 19,000 clicked. That means they saw the information. So it helped with brand building, the whole thing. There's a whole reason why this does. We reach thousands of decision makers, obtain federal expert status. For you, you are the expert. And we get 25 or more follow-up meetings within 60 days. It's the beginning of your relationships, reaching those people. It works all the time. We got $1.4 trillion, and it all has to be spent within 205 days. You need to get out in front of those decision makers. You can check out ISI Federal on YouTube. LinkedIn with me. You can link in with me, look up ISI Federal. You can't miss me. I'm all over the place. If you do have a GSA contract, QUIKFUSE.com, 30 days for free. And I promise you, you're going to win. You're going to win. You're going to win more on GSA eBuy if you use QuickFuse. It's just that way. Jamie Zell, here's Jamie Zell's contact information, 937-602-8930. Oh, man, I'm not even reading my own writing. So reach out to Jamie, GSAJamie@gmail.com or Jamie@GSAlogic.net. That's because he's been around so long. And he did get rid of his Hotmail. He's no longer a Hotmail. Greg Clark. Hey, Greg.
Yes, sir.
Any final comments for everybody to get in touch with you?
We're here every day, man. And like you say there, we're going to be at the end of September before we know it.
Before you know it. And then it's too late. It's almost too late now. You got to get in there. You got to do it.
So let's find some stuff to bid on now before we get the rush at the end of the summer.
That sounds like a plan. Good stuff. And if you want to reach out, Rafael Marrero, you can reach him. Anybody that responded that needed his help is going to get a call and get scheduled with Rafael for a 30-minute free, no obligation review of your information, and he'll help you through that process. So you can reach out to Rafa there. Again, I already did that. And we will see you April 14th. April 14th is the next one, 11 a.m. Everybody got their time set right, obviously. And Success 2020, that's what we're about. And we want to stick it to the competition. Again, Dave Lowe, thanks for joining us. We will see you next month. And if anybody responded to anything, you'll be talking to somebody on my team, and they will be scheduling a time for us to chat. So we would look forward to that and helping you get your marketing started. With that, I'm going to let everybody go. Thanks again for joining us. Jamie, thanks again. Glad you're feeling better. And we will see you next month. Thanks, guys.
Dave.